Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Sorry yesterday's little video was extremely short, but running late and still very tired yesterday, so I didn't get to do a lot of things I wanted to do. Someone on YouTube had asked a question about have I invented anything, and if I have, was it used in anything? And I'm not sure where the question came from, but no, I've never invented anything. Everything that my projects that I build and things like that are things that I get from other people's inventions. Now, I have been known to modify things, like when I'm making costumes and such. I tend to modify the patterns, things like that. But have I invented something? No, I have not. But I do appreciate that question. They also asked another question about thunderstorms and lightning, which I will actually talk about in tomorrow's video because I do want to do a little bit of research on that too, because the question was, do we get thunderstorms here? What about lightning? And there was another part to it that I didn't write down that I need to go back and read. But I want to kind of get an idea of how many thunderstorms happen in this area and how bad they are. And I actually love thunderstorms. Um, I know not a lot of people do, but there's an energy in the air. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it today. Hope you had a great week. Today is Saturday. And yes, I made my coffee. You could probably hear me stirring it. Um, and our word for the day is. Sorry, I keep hearing a random noise. So, unctuous. Unctuous. Unctuous is a word that's undergone change in recent years. It's now often describes food that is fatty and oily, especially in a pleasing way. Formerly, it was more typically applied as a formal adjective describing someone who is figuratively oily. That is overall overly and insincerely flattering. Both uses can be found today. I can think of a use for the second one, but I won't. Braising chicken thighs with their skins on creates a rich, unctuous sauce that can be spooned back over the finished dish. The mayor's unctuous assistant was making the rounds at the fundraiser, chatting up the known to have the biggest bank accounts. Every day is a clean slate and a fresh start. So, coffee, the warm coffee makes me feel good. So, I woke up this morning thinking about something. Not my brain does its own thing. I allow that. But this morning it had to do with money. So I'm getting to the age for retirement. And there was a comment made, whether in jest or just somebody saying something, I don't know. But they made the comment that the government was trying to make sure we all died before the age of 65 so we didn't collect Social Security. Well, now they're trying to move the age to 70 for retirement for Social Security. So I had always jokingly said that I was going, no, maybe not so jokingly. I was semi serious. But now that I'm having more health issues, so I am 63 and a half. I will be 64 this fall, which means I only have one more year to make all my decisions about Medicare and all that. Even if they change everything, I should still be grandfathered into it. Hopefully be grandfathered into it. We'll see. But that leads me to think about why we're doing this. Yes, people live older to be older. Yes, people are working until they're older. But that doesn't stop the health issues. I've had osteoarthritis for years now, and now it's getting bad enough that I'm having to go to the doctor and get it checked out because I'm having a hard time, either with my arms, my hands, my feet. Imagine waking up and your foot is so swollen and so painful that you can barely put weight on it. Yes, I'm looking into other ways to work. But where is all the money going? With the current administration, I like that word, administration, where is the money coming from for the 1.8 billion slush fund? Where is the money coming from to tear down and rebuild a ballroom at the White House? Which, to be honest, I feel we should have had a say in whether that was going to happen or not. I feel like our current administration, including the Congress and senators, are using funds but not sharing the information on what they're used for. Where is this money coming from that they spent for ICE? I believe we do need to get rid of criminals that are from other countries. But I don't believe we should be ripping families apart to do that. And if we're paying 1.8 billion for people that may or may not have been tried and found guilty for something and they were in jail, why are we giving them $1.8 billion? They broke the law, and yet now they're going to get money. And yet, green card carrying people, U.S. citizens that are detained in some of these detention centers, there's no food in some of these detention centers. The conditions are horrible. They're not getting their medical needs met. And these aren't illegals. So even the illegals should be treated better than this. We wouldn't treat dogs like this. You go to any pet shelter and they're treated better than some of these people are in these massive places. Where's the money coming from for the arch? Where's the money coming from for the ballroom? Where's the money coming from for this slush fund? What about the 10 billion that he took out to go to his Peace Foundation? Where is all that money coming from? Us. We should be voting for the compensation for those people that were convicted on January 6th. voting for for renovations of America's house, which is the White House. Voting for term limits. How many people want to see term limits? Why are we not voting for these things? Anyway, 10 minutes. Well, time for me to stop. One of these days, I may do a much longer one. Pull up numbers and things and see what everybody thinks. Where is the money coming from? Why are they saying that Social Security is going to be broke? I want to see the numbers. Show me the numbers. Love you. Miss you. Bye-bye.